Hey everyone, this is Walter and I'm back with even more crap from Reddit. Once again we're talking about nice guys, men who think being nice is enough to make you a well-rounded person. But sometimes they just end up being creepy. Let's get into it with nice guys from Reddit. These posts come to us from Reddit Nice Guys. It's a long one I mentioned in the last video. What can I, 28 male, do to make her, 28 female, realize that loving him, 31 male, is a mistake? Just from reading the title alone, yeah, probably nothing. I've been madly in love with my coworker Heather for the past couple years. She joined our team during the pandemic. As pathetic as it sounds, I fell for her the minute she introduced herself on Zoom. She's insanely beautiful, but in a classic, refined, and almost ethereal way, not like the women on TikTok and Instagram. When things started to normalize and Heather and I met face to face for the first time, it felt like there was instant chemistry. At first, a small group of us would get together for drinks or dinner outside of work. Eventually, I gathered the courage to ask Heather to grab a coffee alone, and we started to hang out, just us two. I fell for her hard the more I got to know her. I found her way more down to earth than any of the other beautiful women I'd come into contact with. She's the type who'd rather spend a weekend staying in and reading a book cover to cover than going out and getting wasted. I'm not lacking in dating experience, but admittedly I've only managed to date women I felt were beneath me in some way. Heather is the first woman who's surpassed my physical standards and lacks the conceitedness that would prevent her from giving a guy like me a chance. He says he's not lacking in dating experience, but he vaguely sounds like an alien. More down to earth than any of the other beautiful women he had encountered. Also, he's better than all of his exes, sure. For over a year, we've been meeting one-on-one outside of work. To me, the meetups felt like dates, so I gathered up the courage to ask how she felt about me. She said she enjoyed spending time with me, but wasn't ready to date. I accepted that, and we continued to hang out as normal. The advice I read on the internet recommended I distance myself and meet other women, but something in my heart told me Heather was the one and that I just needed to give her some time. The problem is I found that Heather seemed to have some unresolved emotional baggage with this guy named Ricky. She claimed he was just a friend, yet would on occasion incessantly talk/ask me for advice about him. This would usually come after alcohol and could last for up to hours. Despite apparently having no romantic feelings for him, she would be annoyed with him for dating multiple women and being an all-around asshole. Okay, this guy hasn't actually done anything wrong yet, and this is a shitty situation. There's no way that I'd actually sit there and listen to her talk about this guy for any period of time if I was in this situation, let alone hours. She met him at her previous place of employment. He wasn't an actual coworker, but was part of the security team hired by her firm. From what I'd heard, he seemed to be the thuggish type who could barely hold down a job. He dropped out of college to pursue a pro MMA career, flamed out due to an injury, worked in security, construction, an electronics shop, a fitness coach, sold used cars, and now co-owns a few girl bars with his other MMA flameout buddies. Oh, and he's estranged from his parents and has a suspended driver's license. Charming. Heather would lament about how he has so much potential, and asked me how she could help him get his life on track. I started to get the feeling Heather had romantic feelings for him, though she insisted otherwise. This all came to a head when I had the displeasure of meeting Ricky at Heather's friend's birthday party, which just solidified my disdain for him and raised additional questions. As I'd worried, he turned out to be one of those tall, jacked alpha males that will barely say a word to a man he perceives as beta. I also overheard him talking to his friends, during which they were speaking a regional dialect known to be used by members of organized crime, which, in combination with his profession, leads me to believe he may have some involvement in that. Aside from that, the way Heather looked at him was just different than the way she looked at me. I noticed her watching him from afar, making goo-goo eyes as he and his friends sat in the corner, acting like they were superior to everyone else. I also caught Ricky whisper something in Heather's ear as he walked past her, which made her blush and stare at him for approximately 5 seconds straight as he walked away. Although I came as her +1, Heather said she needed to give Ricky a ride and asked if I'd be cool getting a ride with someone else. I hinted that I'd be willing to come along, but she didn't bite and I ended up taking public transportation. The way this guy looks at other people reminds me of Elliot Rodger. He thinks he's so much classier. But yeah, she's not even trying to hide this. I'd imagine she wants him to notice and give up. Now, I'm 99% certain that Heather has feelings for Ricky. The question is, why? By all indications, this is a guy who just can't get his shit together, no matter what he does. If you take away his height and his physique, I am the superior partner. I have a good job, make good money, have a similar educational background, am interested in her interests, don't have shady friends, have an actual family, don't start flings with multiple women, and I'm actually a decent human being. I'm always available when she needs help with work, and sometimes stay up until 3 a.m. listening to her problems and giving her advice. I don't understand why a woman who has beauty, an education, a career, and who isn't a total thought would want some scumbag loser just because he's tall, buff, and dresses nice. I would literally do everything in my power to make her the happiest woman alive, while Ricky would probably cheat on her after a week. Although I'm disheartened, I'm not giving up. I understand that the issue isn't with me, it's with Heather needing to see through this guy's bullshit and get her priorities straight. So what can I do to help her do just that, and show her that I'm the one worthy of her affection? TLDR. I'm in love with my coworker, who seems to be in love with a guy, who's a terrible match for her and doesn't have his shit together. What can I do to show her that I'm the prize, and that saving her affections for a meathead with no future is a mistake? My god, there is no logic to it. She likes that guy. What, do you want to force her to be with you? Sosuke Eisen from Bleach said, admiration is the furthest thing from understanding. I feel like this guy's idolizing her, more than interacting like she's another person. Heather doesn't like you like that. Stop being the stereotype of a nice guy and leave her to live her life. Yes, that's the problem. She seems to not like me like that, when I feel as though she should. I'm not ugly, I'm just not tall and not jacked. But I'm successful, have a stable life, and can make her happy. I literally am there whenever she needs me. She just has to give me a chance. And after reading everything, can you honestly say that Ricky is a better option than me? It doesn't matter what I think or what you think, it matters what she thinks. You're being creepy. Stop it. What she thinks is objectively wrong and potentially harmful. Of course, he did make Ricky sound pretty bad. That could be a total straw man. Reddit has no way of knowing. Either way, she's a big girl. She can make her own choices. Checklist you created in your head. Attraction doesn't work that way. You could have all the stability in the world, but if you don't make her feel the way she wants to feel, you're just not it for her. Period. You can't make someone give you a chance by laying out your resume. This isn't a job interview where she's obligated to hire you because you got the qualifications on paper. Feelings, man. Feelings are what matter. And it sounds like she's got feelings for Ricky, no matter how much you want to believe otherwise. It sucks for you, but that's reality. So a guy with nearly identical specs can't make a beautiful, career-driven woman feel the way she wants, but a college dropout that decided to run a girls' bar, that by the way possibly employs undocumented foreign women, after flaming out of every other career choice he made, who is also possibly involved with criminals, who also leads on/sleeps with multiple women at the same time can? Maybe I'd agree with your statement if the feeling you describe is nothing more than tingling between the legs, otherwise no shot. Alright, never mind, I guess he does actually want to force her to date him. Her feelings are somehow logically incorrect. Leave her alone. You have no place telling her who she should and shouldn't have feelings for. She let you down gently. What you do now is take the hint and move on. Why do people keep saying leave her alone? I haven't confronted her about any of this, nor has she expressed a desire to distance herself from me. It's just difficult for me to fathom why a woman who has literally everything going for her would want a guy who has nothing going for him other than his physique and slightly above average facial features. It doesn't add up. I just have a feeling in my heart about Heather. I'm not trying to be weird. Spoiler alert. You don't know this man, and you clearly don't know Heather. She's allowed to want what she wants, and I can see why she... Some of these get cut off, but I think we get the idea. Yes, I think I would be the better partner, because I have a stable family life. I don't keep unsavory company / don't have a questionable occupation, and I have enough financial stability to support a life of her choosing. The only area Ricky is superior than me is in physical appearance / athleticism. But I'm 100% sure Heather isn't shallow enough to let physical traits be the sole determinant of what makes a partner attractive. I don't agree that I don't respect her. I think I respect her too much to let her derail her life by chasing after some thug. You're wrong about everything you've written here, because you don't know anything about Ricky, yet you're talking as though you've dated Ricky before and know how it will end. Sir, he is a stranger to you, and clearly so is Heather. You don't respect her at all, otherwise you would respect her autonomy. My favorite part might be him saying this Ricky guy thought he was superior to everyone else, which is hilarious coming from this guy. Well, everything I wrote about Ricky either came directly from Heather's mouth or was observed in person. Perhaps I'm a bit judgmental because of my feelings for Heather, but facts are facts. He can't hold down a job and sleeps around with multiple women. That's not exactly prime boyfriend material. Bro, sorry to tell you. She just isn't into you. You are just coworkers. A lot of women like to talk to their coworkers without any intentions. Then she should have expressed that explicitly instead of simply saying she wasn't ready to date, and then continuing to hang out with me one-on-one. That's the usual I'm not interested now. Often with the right guy, this attitude changes. She wants a relationship and more. Back off, please. She said no gently, because saying no firmly can have dangerous consequences for women. I'm not violent, so I don't know what you're getting at. Yeah, I guess this is why women choose the bear. He didn't do anything violent, but I'm sure she's noticed how obsessed he is. I've only managed to date women I felt were beneath me in some way. This sentence tells you everything you need to know about this guy. Also, she's beautiful and she's not a thought. Like, dude, you are not the catch you think you are. And you don't respect her any more than Ricky does, but at least Ricky is obvious and transparent. She's just beautiful, basically. The rest doesn't matter. Not even her free will matters, as long as she's ethereally beautiful and not a thought, therefore not inferior, as the girls OP dated before. I bet that girl has no idea OP is so creepy and hell-bent on forcing himself down someone's throat at any cost. Honestly, yes. This line held the most insight into this guy. He sounds like he has no feelings and can't comprehend the feelings of others. So to him, relationships are a resume/interview. And he's only dated people who aren't perfect for the job but could get by. And when people pointed it out, he can't see it himself at all. I'm confused as to what he even expected Reddit to tell him to do. What, tired of the fucking radiator? It's the guy who thought his coworker was in an abusive relationship all over again. Was this written by a reincarnated Elliot Rodger? It's kind of scary to think people like this are just wandering around. Yeah, I actually thought about both of those things. Alright, that took a long time, but let's look at one more guy shooting a shot. Hey. Hi. How are you? Good. You? Not bad. Just trying to get through school, haha. Same. Definitely not the same as high school. So what have you been up to since high school? Just studying and working. Still at the theater? Kinda. Still at a theater, but I got transferred. I'm a manager now. That's sick. I'll have to stop by the new one. For sure. Maybe we could even go together. Yeah, maybe over winter break we can get the whole crew back together, lol. I was actually thinking just you and me. Oh. I mean, if you want to, of course. I don't want to make this awkward. Well, I do have a boyfriend. Really? No way, someone you haven't seen since high school is in a relationship in college? Yeah, what are the chances? He's a pretty lucky guy to have you. I guess. I'm pretty lucky to have him, though. Is it the guy in your most recent post? Yeah. That's surprising. Why? He just looks so much different than what I thought you were into. How would you know? I know you had a thing for me. That was over 2 years ago, dude. Do you still think about me? Not really. Why not? Because we haven't talked since high school. You know, I wish I would have said yes when you asked me out. Yeah, that kind of hurt, but I've moved on. I haven't. I'd still like to take you on a date. I have a boyfriend. But it's clear you settled. I'm sure I could treat you so much better than he ever could. I'm just going to block you. Good luck in life. Fine. But I hope you stay up every night thinking about what you could have had. I was immature then. I didn't realize what a precious opportunity I missed. But now I see I haven't missed one. You know, I only reached out because I felt bad for you. I thought maybe even after 2 years, you still haven't even been kissed. I thought I'd do you a favor. See what I get for being nice. I pray that your boyfriend breaks up with you in the most brutal way because it's what a bitch like you deserves. And good luck finding anyone after him. No guy would ever want disgusting used goods with a bad personality. You really missed out on the best relationship you could have had. You don't even deserve a goodbye. Wow, spoken like a true toddler. I guess the crew isn't getting back together at the theater after this, huh? Anyway, I think that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say about the nice guys, or about my content in general, let me hear it in the comments. I read them while the video's new. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more of the same, whatever else I decide to work on. Big thanks also to my amazing patrons who support me more directly over on Patreon. It's always a huge help. I'll be back with more content soon, and happy Halloween. I hope you stay up every night thinking about what you could have had.